All right, y'all. It is Wednesday, January 22nd, and I just noticed something. Okay, so I did not realize, darling, that the very first thing that they did, and it flew under the radar, I didn't even see it until just now, was to dismiss every advisory committee to the Department of Homeland Security. And citing that they're dispersing those committees to in the name of safety and security. They're getting rid of the departments that do that. And, some of them had some ongoing investigations into some important hacks and, some important things. And funny how, like, the instant that was the first thing they did. First thing they did. Yeah, so let's go back, and I want to look at a timeline because it's interesting to me that we now have this growing group of folks that are, yes, ready to do something, but also going, okay, this is a lot. Like, it's so much that there has to be something. And it's interesting kind of watching that flip. Some of the folks who beforehand were like, no way, nothing's ever going to happen, are now like, okay, something has to happen. And you know what? No matter what you think that something is, most people would agree that they're reaching there's a tipping, you can sense it. There's a tipping point that is going to come, and it's going to come fast because they are rolling through this, and it doesn't work. You can look it up. If you study these sort of takeover attempts, it doesn't work if you cook it too quickly. You have to do it slowly. You got to roll it out bit by bit so people can digest it and normalize it and keep going. These transfers are supposed to take years. And yes, things have happened for years. I'm not denying that and not saying we're not already in the middle of something. But my point is, what's going on right now is too quick to be sustainable. It's too quick. And maybe they know that, and maybe that's part of it so that they can try to pull their whole, Marshall thing. But I just, if you're one of the folks that has that little 5% nugget in the back, and let me be clear, when I talk about possible things or hopeful things, I am not pushing apathy or compliance. I am never saying, hey guys, nothing's going to happen, so don't worry. Okay? To me, that is just as dangerous as sitting here saying, hey guys, you can't stop it, so just give up and comply right now. It's the same thing. Okay? Same ice cream, different flavors. So I've never done that. You've never heard me do that. I don't promise things. I don't believe in promising things, but I also don't believe in pushing compliance and apathy, because that is what the powers need. This does not work if we push back. And it doesn't even have to be a large pushback. I believe the number is 3.5% of the population. That's all we need to push back to make the difference. Anyway, so this person, but a week before the events that this person is supposed to get in, a bunch of wildfires happen in the county that's over from mine. And like I said, for people who live in this area, I've lived here for over 12 years at this point. I wouldn't use the word wild or natural to describe what happened. Not at all, not by any stretch of the imagination. Me, personally, as someone who lives here. And there are a lot of folks who agree with me. And there were suspects and arrests and all that, so we're not completely wrong. And it was immediately classified by a certain side as these acts of gods and punishment and retribution for not choosing the right person, right? Okay, they get in, we have the party, they're taken in, and there's discussion now that perhaps some of the sky activity we were seeing, remember how I said I was on the side of they're looking for something, and I feel like it's a boom. And I'll even be careful here because I want to be safe. So I was like, I think they're looking for booms. That it sounds to me like they would want to do something to kick off their plans. That's what I said back then. You might have to go find it, but I did say it. Some of you might remember. I said it a couple times. I was like, I don't think it's aliens. As much as I would love it to be aliens, it's not aliens. I'm pretty sure they're looking for something that goes boom. And sure enough, the whispered intel is that it's related to that. And there were some sort of plans, booms, incendiary, something that would create a flash and a splash if their king was not crowned. So I believe California was the warning, the test, and what a great one, right? Hollywood, the perfect target to show the sins of liberalism and Democrats. And this is what happens to areas that don't choose the king, the chosen one. See what happens? God has reacted when you didn't choose his chosen one. Okay? Importante. So they get in there, they basically get rid of every DHS investigation that's ongoing. A lot of them are related to their buddies and into their companies and into their stuff. So immediately just start fully abuse, like we knew they would. This is not a surprise. They start rescinding orders, like 80 plus Biden orders. They start issuing random executive orders. What are they doing now? They're talking about freezing the assets of Nigeria. I don't know how true that is. I saw that. I got to dig into it. But someone said now they're like starting to target Nigerians for some reason. That bishop who asked them to be merciful, he's toilet twatting, insulting. I keep saying them because I'm not sure, but insulting their church and insulting. How dare they bring their church into politics like this? Like that's not the other half of his base. And basically, you know how it's unacceptable because all they did was ask him for mercy. Like she didn't even go in. I would have went in. She didn't do that. Can you please not go like ham on everybody? And they're like, inappropriate. I can't believe they said that to me. That's nope. And then folks in Congress are like, yeah, deport them. They need to be deported for saying that. This is an American citizen, white or white passing, not someone who even looks like they should be. So you understand, like we're 2 days in and these people are already talking about deporting American citizens that disagree with them or just ask for mercy. Deport them. I know I'm smiling and your guys are like, it's not funny, but I'm smiling because, like I said, it's not sustainable. At some point, something's got to give. And if there is nothing that steps in, and like I said, while I believe there probably is something from the whispers I get, I would never tell everyone to act like they're just going to be saved. And if that has ever been unclear, I'll make it clear right now. Never do that. Even if you have something in the bag, even if we know for sure 1000% something's coming, we still act like nothing, because maybe it's just being a woman of color in this country, but you learn that you can't take anything for granted. You can't expect things to go the way they were planned. You can't expect a lot of things. Example, the last minute family pardon, and everyone was like, they looked surprised at that. Like no one knew about that. It was at the last second. What does that mean? I think he did that at the last second because he knew whatever transpires, whether it's the people rising up because they knew this wasn't going to be sustainable, or whether it's something else that was cooking. I heard Mr. Smith is back to working with The Hague. Canada's supposed to be releasing some reports. I'm getting whispers that the end of the month, they're like, and I'm not going to sit here and give key days because I don't like to be one of those people, but I will say that I have received from the intel sources I trust, end of the month. So, like I said, I'll hold off on a day or two on ripping into a certain party until we reach a threshold where I'm like, oh, okay, all right, bet. Now I'm ready to rip in, and it's going to be the people handling this got it. And we should always plan to handle it ourselves. Just because, I don't know, that's the best way to live, that then you're always prepared. You've always got a plan B. You're never disappointed. You're never devastated. It's not a shocker. So this is what I try to encourage people to do. Take that and keep that, whether you like me or not. You need to apply that to your life. It will make life so much better for you. You will be less likely to fall into despair at every little thing if you live in a mode of, I am prepared. Okay. All right. Let's get back on track.